Most people lose long before they even start. They lose before the interview, before the relationship, before the business launch. Not because they lack talent or luck, but because the battle was already decided in their mind. Here's the brutal truth. If you're still reacting to life, you're already too late. While most people rush into conflict, emotional, social, or professional, those who truly win have already set the stage for victory before the fight ever begins. But how? What does it mean to win before the battle? This idea isn't just strategy. It's ancient wisdom from one of history's greatest minds, Sun Tzu. And if you understand it, it will change how you play every game in life. Long ago in the Warring States period, a young general named Liang was chosen to lead his first battle. He was fierce, ambitious, and certain of his strength. His men adored his courage, but feared his impatience. When scouts brought news of the enemy's movement, Liang saw opportunity. "Strike now," he ordered. "We'll catch them unprepared." His mentor, an older strategist, shook his head. "Patience, young one. The greatest victory is won before the battle." Liang ignored him. Days later, his army faced a well-positioned enemy. The terrain favored them. Supply lines were cut. Morale broke before the first arrow flew. They lost. Shamed and furious, Liang returned to his mentor. "You knew we'd lose. Why didn't you stop me?" The old man replied, "I tried. But you were fighting the wrong battle, not against the enemy, but against your own need to act before understanding." Years later, Liang returned to the same field, wiser this time. He studied the terrain for weeks, sent spies, built alliances, controlled the flow of information. When the battle finally began, it was over before it started. The enemy surrendered before the first sword was drawn. This was Sun Tzu's forgotten rule. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Winning before the battle isn't magic, it's positioning. It's about controlling conditions, not reacting to circumstances. You shape the field so that when the moment comes, everything bends in your favor. The world thinks victory is about effort. But Sun Tzu knew it's about alignment. He didn't just teach war, he taught life strategy. He understood that every outcome, love, career, peace, depends on preparation so deep that conflict becomes unnecessary. Here's why you lose your battles before they even start. You enter them unprepared, emotionally, mentally, strategically. You think confidence means charging in without fear. But real confidence is knowing you've already won because the foundation is unshakable. You mistake motion for progress. You confuse busyness for strategy. You scroll motivational quotes, set vague goals, and call it grind mode. But in truth, you're improvising your way through life, praying the universe rewards your chaos. Here's the brutal truth. Discipline without direction is self-inflicted exhaustion, and courage without clarity is suicide by ego. Sun Tzu would tell you, you're losing because you're reacting, not designing. Modern psychology backs this up. A 2016 study from the University of Pennsylvania found that people who engaged in pre-decision visualization, mentally rehearsing future outcomes and conditions, were 42% more likely to follow through on long-term goals. Why? Because the brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined scenario and a real one. Neural pathways fire as if the event has already occurred. In other words, you win in the mind first, and the body follows. The same principle drives elite athletes, special forces, and even negotiators. They train their nervous systems to stay calm because they've already lived the moment 100 times before it happens. That's what Sun Tzu meant. The victory is prepared, rehearsed, embodied. If you want to embody this rule, here's the system. Step 1. Map the terrain. Before any major decision, pause, study. Who are the players? What are the stakes? Where are the weak points, yours and theirs? Preparation isn't wasted time. It's the front line of victory. Step 2. Control the conditions. Change the environment before it changes you. If you're trying to quit bad habits, don't rely on willpower. Redesign your surroundings. If you're launching something new, build leverage before exposure. Step 3. Rehearse reality. Visualize success. But more importantly, visualize resistance. What could go wrong? How will you respond calmly? A prepared mind is an unbeatable mind. Step 4. Strike only when ready. Patience is power. When the moment aligns, act with total conviction. No hesitation, no overthinking. Because the work was already done in silence. That's how you win before the battle. So here's the choice. You can keep charging into life unarmed, hoping your passion will save you. Or you can become the strategist, the one who shapes outcomes before they unfold. Most people live in reaction, forever blindsided by the chaos they refuse to study. A few learn the art of unseen victory, the power of winning before the fight. Remember, the wise don't seek to conquer others. They master themselves, and the world falls into place. If this message hits home, subscribe below. This channel is for those who refuse to fight blind. And tell me in the comments, what's the battle you're preparing for right now? Because as Sun Tzu said, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Your mind is the battlefield, and mastery begins before the first move.